Is that Mrs. Presley's time?
If you do not at this time own the 2030 Tippah County Historical Society membership addresses, email numbers, and phone numbers, I have one for you. Tell your friends where you got it.
Very nice.
This is what you emailed, wasn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
And anytime you raise money, feel free to write to all of those people and tell them what you want. My experience has been they will ignore you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
I wanted to sell all of Jerry's books, and I wanted to sell all of Mr. Huddleston's books, and I don't know if I ever sold anything that way or not. Okay, Pat has a card going around for Nancy Welch, who is at home with shingles, and she's going to have a roofer soon to put them up. That's what I heard. I heard that from her, that the roofer would be putting them on. I did hear about a guy, no kidding, with, you know, to bring the stuff from the doctor's office, and they were going to remodel. And he said, I've got the shingles. He said, pull off your clothes and wait for the doctor. So he did. And then he handed him the bill. The doctor signed it. He put his clothes back on and left. Okay, hand out the membership directory. There's a card being signed for Nancy and a card being signed for Marjorie Johnson, who is sick. And what else do we know?
Marnell said she would be in the hospital in about 2 weeks yet.
About 2 weeks.
What, you fall or something?
She failed. She failed.
Okay, it doesn't involve internal organs we can't talk about?
She didn't break any bones.
It was a fall.
She had, she sounded like she had croup.
That's what she
Anyway,
said.
that's what started.
Yes.
And I think she got dehydrated and she fell a couple of times. So Ben called her daughter, and the son-in-law came up and carried her to the hospital.
Which one?
Here.
Here?
Here.
I see you won't have an excuse for not going. We can go here.
She was up there all last week. And I think he told me that she would be up there probably 2 more weeks.
Oh. In traction? In traction or anything?
No,
She didn't break any bones.
it didn't, her falls didn't hurt her.
Oh, she's just badly dehydrated. Croupy.
Well, when?
Yeah, we can see her. We might ask for a mask, but we can see her. Good. She probably hadn't had a good talking with the preacher in who knows when. I'll just go up there and sit.
Has this been running through here?
The March Tippah County Historical Society meeting will be here. Johnny Wilbanks, museum curator, will be our speaker, and he is going to make the Historical Society Museum connection for us, whatever that is. Tommy told me there was a connection. I just assumed that it was something free-floating, but he said no, that this body of people organized with the idea in mind of being associated with the museum. So
this is the original charter.
he shall bring us up. The Latter-day Saints may have their spring, this spring, to demonstrate the scanner that they have built. And we need a report from the Criswells. Have you made an appointment? Are they anxious to come? Is there a month or anything we know about? The Latter-day Saints, will they be here at any particular time?
We have not been in touch with them. This came through Dwayne Book, which he's no longer over there now, so I don't know. We need to try to find out something.
Hey, they're online. Ring them up. Tell them you've got a great uncle that was never baptized, and they'll get right to you. Ken and Sheila have a suggestion for a speaker, and I can't tell you because I forgot who they said it was, but somebody was going to speak to another historical society about road agents or bandits or something in the county, and he said, hey, that looks good, let's have him come here. And as soon as I can hear better about it, I'll let you know. I don't remember his name, but that was the topic, as I recall.
What was the topic?
I think it had something to do with bad guys.
Oh, bandits, I thought that's what you
So
said.
I think that's what it was, yes, I really believe that's what he said. But I can't remember his
Having
name.
trouble finding them.
Are you still interested in a meeting with Rayco?
We went to Corinth to talk to them and couldn't find the
Couldn't
place.
find the place.
No.
Are you still interested in talking to them?
Yeah.
You want me to invite them here this time?
Well, we can go up there and,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
We got an old Corinth phone book. We
Yes.
looked at the address and we couldn't find it. I don't know if they moved or what.
Well, you look on the white page, the yellow page on the internet, anything that's listed, you can find it. It's nice.
Yeah, I looked there and it had the same address, but we
Uh-huh.
went there and that wasn't what was there. Goodness.
Well, if you're meeting anytime soon, talk to the Tippah County trustee for the regional library system, because the regional library system does business with Rayco.
That's true.
And we can come up with something.
Okay, well, since you brought that up, I've made what I think would work for our copy machine. I'd like for everybody to look at it and tell me what you think.
Sure we will.
I've got the computer and the camera and the program picked out, and we'd still have to have something to hold the camera. You'd have to have some wiring to hook it all together. But it looked like $1,250 will get us started. And then maybe,
We haven't approved them out, don't we?
yeah,
Okay.
but I'd like for somebody else, this is just what I think will work. I'd like for somebody else to look at it. Got any computer people here, camera people? Look at it and see what you think. I'd like, you want to just pass it around,
Please do.
pass it down there, anybody that wants to look at it. Anybody find anything wrong with it, that's fine.
All I need to do is pass it around.
wrong with so much about it.
On April the 17th, this year, the Mississippi Historical Records Advisory Board, I guess they're associated with the state organization of archives and history, but they're going to be at Delta State, and they're going to have a workshop on digitization. I've already mentioned it to the Chris Wells, and I saw Dwayne and asked him, but I couldn't get, I didn't have the dates, and I don't know if he's interested or not, but I'll supply this information to him. I guess it'll probably be an all-day session, and that's all I know for sure, and it will be at Cleveland, at Delta State in Cleveland, Mississippi. And it has something to do with digitizing your records, and it's that workshop. You can call Julia Young at the Mississippi Department of Archives, and I have her number here, or you could register online if you're interested in going. And I've only asked Dwayne if he was interested, and he didn't know when or where for sure, so he didn't commit anything. There was a nunnery at church the other Sunday, behaved himself well.
You find them that way, I wonder.
Yeah, he did. Let's see, he's probably your father-in-law's brother. Yeah. Huh? Did he tell us his name? Nothing's all I remember for sure. He said he's not the youngest one, but he's one of the last or something like that. And Bobby Nunley's husband and James, they're all brothers, aren't they? He's part of that family.
Are you claiming any of them?
It just depends on what you say about it.
Well, I didn't get a chance to ask him if he left a big contribution. I can't tell you anything about that. He said he would come back.
We'll try to find out what's name.
And I told him we were looking for younger and prettier members for our historical society. And I said, the day that Christina showed up, they played that music they do in movies when an angel appears. And they go, now get out there and scare us up a couple more. How many uncles are left? I hear there's younger sisters, but
James and his brother Ronnie are the only two boys left.
I guess we're talking to Ronnie then. weren't we?
Must be. White hair,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
beard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Looked sort of menacing at first until I got to know him, and I really enjoyed his visit
Reminds you of Kenny Rogers a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah, okay, that was Ronnie.
Do you know who Grace Nunley and Roland was?
Yes,
She was my first grade teacher.
that was,
I'm already out of high
That
school.
was
That's
Rob's.
been a while.
James's aunt.
Rob's wife. Wait a minute. I'm ready?
You told me to remind you.
Okay. Get it just in the
We were,
meeting.
for one of our meetings, we
Yes.
were gonna have everybody to, tell something about their school experiences. We're gonna report it,
A round table,
round table,
recorded.
school experiences.
Yes, yes. We'll, I'd like to bring it up at the next meeting, and because we have one scheduled, and after that, let's get busy. I'd love to do it. Do you have any school stories to tell?
I'm a teacher, somebody knew it.
I can remember, when I was in about the 4th grade, I was at Cummins Elementary School, and, a guy walked by a couple of years ahead of me, and he said, "You're fat." And I said, "You're a jackass." And the next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground wondering why I couldn't breathe. And I have never forgotten that.
I've never said that.
Do you know where Reed Brothers Dairy was?
Reed Brothers.
It was not far from coming to school. It had a big milk bottle up on top of the building.
Yes. I've seen that.
Well, my father worked there 40 years,
Yeah.
which is close to Cummins Elementary.
Yes. I have just a vague notion where that was. I sure do. They wouldn't give you anything, that chocolate milk and stuff. Well, I worked in a parts house, and the seal test people were just down the road from us on Union. And they'd come in and say they want to buy bearings, and you'd say, "Well, did you bring any ice cream?" They said, "We buy our bearings, you can buy your ice cream."
Well, I was the lucky one. My father brought home all that good stuff, ice cream and milk, and I had 2 dozen kidney stones later in life.
You did?
Sure did.
That's
100%
That's
calcium.
history.
Yes?
Question for Lamar. Did you say you need something to hold the camera? You
What's
need
that?
a box to hold the camera, is that what you said?
Well,
Platform.
we'll have to have something to hold the camera to.
See that tripod right there? It'll have to be something like that
Something
pointed
similar to
down.
that, yeah.
Would the woman not tell you what how they did theirs, or give some kind of plans for it or something like that?
Well, you can buy them. You can just buy them outright and just
They're
put the
not
camera on
that
it.
expensive, are
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
pretty, what's that?
they? They're not that
They're
expensive.
not real expensive. We probably build one.
Well, I'm sure you could
But,
break things from your hand.
but you can buy them. They're probably $100, a couple $100 to buy one.
Where would you, could you get the access you wanted to your equipment if you set it up in the archive, per se? I mean, in that building?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
Well,
I mean, there is no better place I can think of, but I didn't want you hemmed in over there.
Deborah would have to have a list of the volunteers that
Yeah,
are to have access to it.
sure.
And then, I can't go over there and go in. She's got the key and she lets me in now.
Yeah.
But,
Is Dwayne not working here? If they're on now, he's gone.
he's gone to Blue Mountain
Good.
College.
Well, who's doing it now?
Deborah, I guess. I don't know. I don't think they've hired anybody yet.
He said originally he was gonna be helping
Yeah, he was
out.
gonna
he said
he gonna-
he was-
I don't know how
Been in and out.
I don't know how it's gonna work. What? But
He said he was, I understood he gonna be.
yeah, his
still
main
touching
job
base.
is
Yeah,
in Blue
yeah.
Mountain, so I don't know what his status is.
Well, I think he's just volunteer now, just like
Yeah.
we are.
But-
Ta-da!
Okay, that's it.
That's all I get from our hand clap.
That's all you get.
Here, warm this chair for me? I'm not ready to sit down yet, but I'd like to have it warm.
Well, I can definitely do that.
I want to hear from you about what the relic show, the Civil War relic show, is about. And what are they going to do?
Well, it's many Civil War artifacts. It's stuff that's during that period. This is either the second or third year, I can't remember. And if you're interested in that period, it's really something to see. $5 admission, but it just goes to support the local camp. And if you've never been to one, it's worth going to.
Is it the metal scanning people, or
What's that?
The scanner, or more than that? Is it for sale, or is it on?
Well, everything there is for sale.
You have to set up a table for $50, I think
Yeah,
it says.
everything there is for sale if you can afford it.
Yes.
But there's a lot of books, there's a lot of autographs of stuff. And,
Yes.
If you've never been to one, it's quite interesting. And it's at the, what do they call that, Crossroads Arena?
Arena, Crossroads Arena?
Yeah, that's where it's at. It's gonna be on Saturday and Sunday. Was it March the 9th, 10th, something like that?
Yes, it's early in the month.
It's like, March 10th, that's what I think it is. It's, if you're interested in the Civil War, or war between the states, it's worth going and seeing. As always, they have thousands of people come through.
They do?
Oh, yeah, and they sell, it's not real huge, but for Corinth, for this locale, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, if you've never been, also while you're there, if you've never been to the Corinth battlefield, they have a real nice museum, shows 2 films, and they're open every day except for Christmas and New Year's. I think it's the only 2 days they're ever closed. You could do that at the same time, but the relic show would take up a good bit of your time.
Yeah, we can make 2 trips out of it. If the boys like the relic show, we'll go back.
Yeah.
Now, let's see, there's one other question. Christina, it's been called to my attention that you're in a hippie musical. Okay, would you tell us about that, because we have season tickets and we're thinking about going.
Well, it is a hippie musical. It's the Dixie Theater's production of God's Spell, which translates to Good News. It is about the life of Jesus, mainly told through things that occur in the book of Matthew. And it was written, I think, in 1971, so it's pretty funny. It's got some wild and crazy costumes, fun music, and we're having a great time with it. I think you will really, really enjoy it.
And we read in the paper there's no delay for scene or costume changes either.
There's not. We don't close the curtain except for intermission in the end.
Yes.
So it's gonna go. It's very fast paced. Yes, definitely. It's very, very fast paced.
Well, I've been trying to scare up people since I found out that Pat and I both can use one free on our ticket.
Yes.
And I've asked all of my grandsons if they want to go, and a couple of little kids in church if they want to go.
And it is very family friendly.
It is good.
Very
I'm glad to
family
hear
friendly,
that.
and it keeps them. I think it's going to keep them entertained. I don't think the kids will get bored with it at all.
See if you can add to the information there or something. Is that what you
Well, I want to go. We will probably certainly plan to go.
It opens tonight.
Tonight? Yes, it does. At 7 o'clock.
At 7, so 993 Arts for ticket reservations.
And frankly, I've convinced my number 2 grandson that he ought to see Nonsense, because, he'll go with me for that one.
That's gonna be fun too.
Pat and I saw it in California when I went to visit my sister, and I really didn't know what was going on, but they did a fine job. As a matter of fact, when the nuns came out on the break, they came by to speak to us, and I said, bless me, sister, for I have sinned. And she said, I can't do that. The priest does that. And then she went on down the road.
We already know that Mavis wants to leave at 1 o'clock.
Mavis wants to leave at 1 o'clock. Okay.
So is your speaker, because we're swamped. It's Monday, in case y'all didn't know.
Oh, the planning happens at
It's Monday at the library.
We heard Sheila, when she was the honoree at the Masonic breakfast, and I said, no, you know, you're talking to people who are only marginally interested in that, and that was such a good speech, you ought to share it with us, where it'll just, you know, you'll be overwhelmingly received. And I couldn't wait, and then she said she would, and I'm so proud that she's here. I asked her to make the genealogical connection between historic research and the gym room. How's that sound?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Would you
I will
hand that to
refer all
Tommy?
those questions to Tommy Covington. Because he knows things about that.
Tommy came to help you out.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy.
There you go. You want to stand or sit?
I'm gonna stand if that's okay.
Make better pictures that way.
Well, I don't know about that, but
All right, now
I
you're
told
going to
him
have to
if
move it, or I'm going to have to get real close to you to get back to my chair. Whichever one you want. Thank you.
you'd be amazed at the number of people that get close to me at the library, whether I want them to or not. So, for those of you who don't, let's see, never mind, you all know who I am, so we'll skip that whole introduction thing. I am married to the kindest, most generous man in Tippah County. We'll start there. Most
You
of-
got a divorce and married again?
I did. He did not even pay me to say that. He's not here, and you don't have to tell him I said, no, don't tell him I said that, because then he'll think I want something, and I don't. We're celebrating 25 years this year. And we dated, this is all free information, this has got nothing to do with the library or the historical society.
You
Well, it's
should.
historical for me.
Come on, we want to.
We dated 4 months and married. We eloped. Came home that weekend and surprised everybody. And everybody said we wouldn't make it. They were wrong. Bad wrong. Valentine's Day, I had on Facebook, Happy Valentine's Day to the one person who still makes my heart beat fast. And he does. So that's free information. I do love my husband. I'm really glad he's not here today, because he also makes me very nervous when I do this kind of thing. I also do not like to drive when he's in the vehicle. I don't necessarily like to ride while I'm awake and he's driving, because those both make me nervous as well. I am from Arkansas. I'm not local. As Tommy says, I'm from not here. But I've been here long enough that I'm almost from here. So, the most important genealogical fact you need to know about me is I have the most wonderful grandson. Wyatt is 19 and a half months old, and he is the apple of his grandma's eye, and every chance I get, I spoil him, in spite of the fact that it makes his mother mad. Something that my mother-in-law and my mother did to her. Mr. Tommy gave me a wonderful opportunity in February of 2008 when I said, Mr. Tommy, could I come work at the library with you sometime? He said, sure, we always need a sub. And here I am. When I was growing up, you know, little girls have dreams, and I always knew that I wanted to be a wife and a mother. Those were the two most important things. And after that, as far as career goals, because I'm a product of the 70s, I had career goals. And I couldn't decide what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I decided I either wanted to teach, or be a secretary, or be a librarian. Well, I am here to tell you that dreams do come true. I have now succeeded in meeting all of my goals. I taught for 6 years. I was a secretary for a good many years, and now I'm a librarian. I follow in big footsteps behind Mr. Tommy and Brent, and they are hard shoes to fill. But I also have Mr. Tommy and Brent there to say, hey, by the way, or I call and say, Mr. Tommy, I've got somebody here who asked me, can you help me? He says, sure, I'm in Memphis, but I'll get right with it. I have done that to him before. He's been out of town and I have called. Mr. Tommy knows way more about the gin room than I do. more than I ever will. Though I am learning a little at a time. Your best chance for a good, accurate answer is to, number one, ask Mr. Tommy if it's in there and where to find it. Number two, ask Polly if it's in there and how to find it. And then if you're desperate, ask me and I'll ask one of them. So I'm sorry, I do know, and again, following in the footsteps behind some great men, somewhere along the line, Brent left on the computer what genealogy resources are available at Ripley Public Library. That may be a throwback from Mr. Tommy left it on the computer for Brent. Well, I made it pretty. That's all I have done. So I do have that for y'all today. But I want to tell you a little bit more about what else is in the library. Now, those of you who come often, you already know, but for those of you who don't, you need to know. Our library is one of the best kept secrets there is in Tippah County. Now, what I want you to do is tell the secret, spread the word, tell everybody. In this time of economic difficulty, it's a free resource. You've already paid for it by paying your taxes. So you might as well take advantage of it. We have books, latest bestsellers, brand new stuff. We do get nonfiction books in there too, simply because other people like to read them. If it were up to me, we'd have mysteries and scrapbooking books, but you know, everybody doesn't read that, so I have to plan for the masses. But we do have some amazing books in there. You don't have to go out and spend $30 to get that latest bestseller. If you're patient, you can get it at the library. Now, I try to watch and get those in as quickly as I can, and there's usually a waiting list. But that's okay. Like I said, if you're patient, you can read it, and it's still free. All you do is give it back when you're done. That's all. We don't have a video store in Ripley anymore. Did y'all know that? We have Redbox. And Redbox may or may not have what you want, and you may have to stand in the rain to get it. My husband says I should put signs on all the red boxes that say you can get free movies in the library. Because we're cheaper than Redbox. Redbox is $1.07 a night per movie. You get it one night. At the library, you can get up to 5 DVDs free for 2 nights. You can't beat that. That's a bargain and a half. Again, we try to get a broad selection of movies. I have to tell you, my chief film advisor is Kevin Lence. He keeps me abreast of what has come out recently and what he thinks would be appropriate for the masses. He does try to tell me, Mama, you need to get such and such movie for the little kids. They would like that. He also test drives all the movies for me. If I order something, he's going to watch it first and make sure. He'll tell me, no. He did not like, what was it he did not like? He did not like Brave. He said Brave was scary. For little kids, it was scary. He said he didn't think it was appropriate for the age it was marketed to. I said, okay, I won't buy that one. He said, good. But we have movies. We've got a little bit of everything for everybody. As far as books, now, the older I get, the harder it is for me to find the right size print to read. My eye doctor says I'm rare. I'm nearsighted and farsighted all in the same eyes, and I hit it young, he says. He said, I don't usually see that in folks till nearly 50, and you're only 35. Gee, thanks. So we do have large print. We have books on audio, CDs that you can, we've got a lot of folks who write a lot while they're working, so we do have those. We can also, if you have certain conditions, we can hook you up with the Mississippi Library Commission's Talking Book Program, which is digital books. They send you a little digital cartridge and the player. It's free, and you get a username and password. You request the books online. It's an amazing service. We have, again, Kevin is my guinea pig for everything at the library. He does it because of his physical handicap, so we get a lot of the books that he has to read for school that way. I don't know about bestsellers because Kevin doesn't like to read, so I don't really know if there are bestsellers available. But the classics are there, and a good number of nonfiction books because he has requested several biographies and gotten those in. But for the young people in your life, we have books targeted toward teen readers. in the subject areas that they like. I'm not into vampires, we have lots of vampire books. You know, the things that the kids are going through. Our middle grade readers, we've got lots of fun stuff for them. And easy books are my favorite books in the world to buy. I'd rather read a picture book. And every time I get a good one in, I show Mr. Tommy, look what I got in. So I'm trying to get some books about the library for our little readers, because I'm trying to encourage a love of reading and a love of the library early. From that, we have revived. I did not know it ever existed until I've had mothers come in and say, I loved it when Mr. Tommy used to have us up from the daycare. We have preschool story hour every other Friday morning, the second and fourth Fridays from 10 to about 10:45. First Baptist brings their 3- and 4-year-old classes, and they have to get back in time to wash up for lunch at 11, so we're through by 10:45. We color a page. When they come in, I've got coloring sheets ready for whatever book we're reading that day. We read a story, and then we do some kind of crafty something. Almost always involves glue stick, because 3- and 4-year-olds love glue sticks. They may not color what you want them to color, the way you want them to color it, and they may put the eyes in the middle, but they've mastered glue sticks. So we do lots of gluing. From that, it's not so much to get them a library card because they're too young, but to teach them that the library is a fun place to go. It's not, oh, Mama says I can't say anything. Mama, there's not any books in there. It's all about Mama and Daddy doing this, doing that. The library is for everybody, from the smallest reader all the way up. We have magazines, again, in this time of economic disturbances. One of my New Year's resolutions a few years ago was to cut back on the number of magazine subscriptions I had, because that's money. Several years ago was to quit buying bestseller books and start using the library. That has worked very nicely. But magazines are expensive, especially if you like ones like Southern Living. Very expensive. We have subscriptions to, I think about 10 to 15 different magazines on a broad range of subjects, not just ladies magazines. We do have Southern Living, several ladies magazines. We have Money Magazine, we have the Journal of Mississippi Medical Association, we've got gardening magazines, Confederate Veteran Magazine, UDC Magazine, we've got the Highlander Magazine, which is about Scottish history. You know, several gift subscriptions. We also have subscriptions to the Southern Sentinel and the Daily Journal. I don't get either one at home, because 9 times out of 10, the only reason I read the paper is to find my kids. My kids aren't in there anymore, so I wait for somebody to tell me what's in there, and then I go look and see, because I'd rather read a book. We do have the genealogy room, and that is one of the best resources we can offer to you as the Historical Society. It is amazing. My people aren't in there because I'm not from here. Ken's people are in there. We have Tippah County Heritage. It's arranged very well. I don't know whether Tommy or Brent did it, but somebody did some good work in there. There's the Mississippi stuff is all together, and the Tippah County stuff is together, if it's not been moved by people that have been in and out. Then it moves on around to other southern states and surrounding areas, and then general, miscellaneous, how-to books, things like that. We also have a set of books that were donated by, I think, the UDC, as a complete list of Confederate rolls. We're talking multi-volumes. I have found my people in there. That's the only place I've found my people in Ripley. We also have several services available that a lot of people are not aware of at the library. Usually we have 8 public access computers. Right now we only have 7 because one is out for repairs. Doesn't cost a thing to come use that computer. It costs 20 cents to print if you need to, per page. But the computer use is free. You can use it for an hour. If no one's waiting, you can sit there until I say somebody's waiting or I'm going home, you have to leave. And I have to learn that. We also have a copy machine. We'll photocopy anything up to 11 by 17. We fax for the public, $3 for the first page and $1 for each page after that. It's the best bargain in town on faxing. We laminate for a nominal 50 cents per sheet fee. That money goes into our Friends of the Library Fund, which funds craft supplies and things that our regular budget does not cover. We have wireless internet service at the library available inside and outside. Mr. Tommy is a firm believer in the wireless internet.
I'll be close enough to use it.
His house is close enough to our little router box at his house, so it's there. You can sit in the parking lot if for some reason.
I bought that router box, so.
That's why it's over on that side of the building.
That's why it's over there.
It's not close enough for us to use it down here, is it?
I wouldn't think so, but it's possible. You could try.
I mean, we've got,
Wasn't there in town?
sometimes people can connect from, you know, a computer back there in here, and sometimes it won't connect, so.
I don't know. I wouldn't think it's close enough, but anything is possible, I guess, on a clear day. I'll send you my notes.
Okay, fine.
I'm teasing. We also have interlibrary loan. If it's not available at Ripley, I will check the other libraries in our system. We're part of the 13 library system. If it's not available there and you really, really want it, then I'll check the Mississippi Library Commission and see if I can get it from somewhere else in the state. If you really, 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 really want it, and I can't get it in the state, I'll call Miss Rita and see if she can find it somewhere else. We're that determined to meet your needs. You know, I love to read, and everything I ever asked Tommy Covington to find for me, he did. I'd come to him and say, I heard about these books in the chat room on the internet. They sound really good. Could you get those for me? 2 weeks later, Sheila, I got those books you wanted. You know, it's all about service. We're not a self-important group. We are a service organization. We also have a meeting room. Y'all have been there before, and it's available. All you have to do is call ahead because we have lots of people that use it. You can eat in there. People don't know that, but you can. We also have free databases available to the public that you can access from home or from the computers at the library. Magnolia, which is a research database. Learn a Test, which helps with GED testing, ACT, SAT, the praxis. If you're going to be taking a standardized test, most likely there is a practice test on Learn a Test for you. And for the little ones, World Book Online. You don't have to be little to get on there. I've been on there. It is an amazing website. You learn, but it's presented in a fun way. Coloring, research, just pick something. I go on there and I play, just because it's fun to do. We also have free materials on our back shelf, free magazines. I had somebody bring a whole big stack of new, like March 2013 magazines they'd gotten. They were through, they were getting them out of their house. So there are always free magazines back there. We have books for sale for $1, a couple of brand new hardbacks for $1. Again, you gotta own it. It's a bargain. Other things that we provide to you, if you've got a stack of books out or a stack of movies, and you're not gonna get into town by the time they're due, call me. Send me an email. We'll renew them. And again, if there's something you want, we'll get it for you as best we can. We also have a monthly newsletter with a list of the items that have been ordered for that month. And a weekly email of the things that are new that have come in, usually out on Thursdays. You can access your account at home. Just call me at the library and we'll set you up a PIN number and tell you how to do it. You can look and see whether we have a book, and you can request it to be sent to Ripley Library for you. That's all you have to do. The Northeast Regional Library System has a website and a blog. And we're here for you. And I have handouts. Every good teacher has handouts. I love handouts. Goes back to a long way. A list of the genealogy resources available at Ripley Public Library. Again, this is not my compilation. This was done before me. I just made it pretty on pretty paper. And a business card. I did these. by myself. It has all the ways you can contact me at the library, phone number, our email, through the website, and we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/Ripley Public Library. Not hard to remember. Pictures of the little ones when I finally remember to bring my camera and take pictures of the little ones. Updates about closings, things that are happening, going to happen. We were closed yesterday for President's Day. That's been on the Facebook page for a couple of days now that we would be closed. Just remember. Reminders out to followers about our preschool times, things like that. So send me a message on Facebook if you need me to find something for you or hold something for you or renew your stuff. Send me an email. Any way you want to get in touch with me, it's on here, and I'd be glad to do whatever I can. Questions? Comments?
I wrote research papers from interlibrary loan. I took a few courses after I graduated and some things I'd missed and couldn't work in at the junior college and at Ole Miss, and I wrote my research papers with requests, whatever was on the shelf to start with, including encyclopedias and the requested books I wanted. And that's graduate level work.
It's an amazing resource. We also have family histories in our genealogy.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, sir.
Do you want library patrons to know about 37X6TP 6R3Q?
Do I, Mr. Tommy?
Yeah, come on with that.
I need to know what it is first.
I might. Tell me what it is. How's that?
That's the code for getting into the census records through your library.
Ah.
And some
And
privileged
you have that
characters
code
know about that.
memorized?
Pardon?
You have that code memorized?
Oh, yes, I use it all the time. I have a photographic memory, by the way.
I don't. That's why I have a notebook.
I do too, but I'm out of film now.
Hey, you haven't got digital yet? You haven't got digital.
I'm digital, but my camera battery died. So, yes, sir, I would like to know that information at some point.
Well, it's really helpful to genealogists.
We'll give them that.
There are a few of them missing, but they have most of the 30s through the 50s are missing,
Okay,
but they have all the rest.
all right. Mr. Tommy, take a note and give that to me. That sounded awful bossy. What else?
There was talk at one time about expanding or moving.
Right there.
Where's that at?
On hold. We need money to build a library. They're not free. They're not cheap either. Most of the grants that are out there that we could possibly apply for and be eligible for, whether we get them or not, require matching funds on the local level. And our Friends of the Library group would need to start doing some heavy fundraising.
That parking lot over behind,
It'll take
this
us
census,
census and get paid.
would that be suitable to expand, or would you?
That is not, we would have to move. That is not our property.
And
That
sometimes
belongs
it's
to, I think, First Baptist.
We got this close and the Baptist church asked for it the day before. It just happened just like that. I mean, it was available, and they wanted it for parking, and we wanted it for parking or possibly expansion someday, but they got it.
Anything else?
You did a very good job on the library, your speeches, you did a good job.
Thank you. I'd like to invite all of you to be a member of the Friends of the Library Club.
Get pictures. Thank you.
This is not about that, but this is for Jerry.
Okay. Okay. All right, so I have handouts. I will leave these. Y'all can take what you want of those. Share them. So,
Jerry, this is a list of the people who are buried in the Ripley Library.
We buried people.
I don't have anybody buried in the library, I promise. Mr. Tommy, you didn't tell me that.
Hey, we thought it was a tombstone.
I didn't try to keep that a secret, and maybe she didn't.
She told.
Oh, and the Ripley Cemetery that are not on the section.
Okay, all right, thank you. I want to do that. I want to do that.
How do you
And
get,
this is your,
is it neat now?
That's my Cherokee.
They're fixing to
That's your
start back
email.
up, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
and I have to go.
If they let everybody know?
Yeah, I will.
Yes, ma'am, I
Are we
will.
about to vote on what
Okay, Sheila.
papers he had?
Okay, let's put this on YouTube with Tippah County, right?
About him doing it?
Only because it's
I
you.
put the last
We-
two
we've already
speakers,
approved
the last
mine.
two speakers on
Okay, you can stop, I'm just handing
All I
out
have to do is.
business cards now.
Oh, did you approve
Hand
mine?
it down.
Bring it back to you.
Hey, you want to borrow Mark's coat when you go back to the library, you walk down and get it?
No, I drove, because I have another errand to run.
Get back.
Thank y'all so very much for having me, and if I can ever do anything, you can call me, and if I can't accomplish it, I will call Tommy, and we'll see what we can do.
I would like to commend somebody on doing some marvelous work in the genealogy room. It's so much more useful than the previous few weeks that it's unbelievable.
I'm assuming Mr. Tommy's been in there,
No.
because I try not to go in there. I go in there and I reset the router, and that's
Hey,
about
it
all I do.
disturbs them, Mark, maybe he did.
The only thing I have to
Straighten up the
complain
mirror.
about is that one of those lights and the two lights is dimmer than the other.
Is it, I'll put that on my list. I have a honey-do list for the mayor and.
it. It ain't nothing in the making of getting a printer for the microfilm,
I don't think we can, I don't think
Hey,
that
Are
that's
you
machine
leaving
is
the
set up
box
for
here?
that.
too expensive.
You leaving the box here?
I was really joking about the light being dimmer than the other one. One time, one of the two lights in there went completely out, and I went home and got my electrician tools and came back and replaced it. And that's why I wanted brighter than the other. One is newer than the other, by about a dozen years. So I was just kind of kidding.
Well, we'll check on it anyway.
They never will catch up with each other, or the brilliant stuff.
Right.
We got the cards.
All right.
Did you bring my Ripley Cemetery material? At home? I'll come to the library.
I can email what I've got to you.
You can?
All my stuff is secure. I don't do anything.
But you still got the rest of my stuff.
Oh, yes, that I do
You can
have.
say what you want on YouTube.
I don't have it with me. It's at the house. I will bring it to the
Okay.
library
Okay,
tomorrow.
thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Y'all have a lovely day. I'm gonna go back to the cat
Well,
house.
having you here has cheered us up considerably. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Like us on Facebook, if you're on Facebook. There you go. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye. Yes, I'm coming out.
I'll use the library sometime.
She's doing good.
I wish that was that comments public.
Oh, this is yours, Mark.
Lamar, about that,
What's that?
did you have some questions you want to ask us about this? Are you going to proceed with it right away?
Well, I want somebody that knows what it is, look at it, and tell me if it's okay.
Pat's got it, she'll take it.
Hey, how about
If everybody approves it, I'm
Did you
gonna own it.
see it?
Is your name all looked at it?
What do you think, Christina?
I think it looks good.
The only thing that I might be concerned about, the computer that you've got, since it's an all-in-one, it wouldn't be expandable if we needed to add more memory or anything down the road, or we wouldn't be able to expand it. What's in the box is all that's ever gonna be in the box.
Well, now, wouldn't a removable hard drive, would that expand the memory?
Well, if you wanna add storage, yes. If you wanna add RAM to it, then you couldn't do it.
Okay.
And I don't know, it says it's got up to 6 gigabytes of RAM, I don't know if,
Well, my thinking on that
Surely that'd
was
be
that none of the information would be permanently stored on the computer, it would be on.
it would be on the
move.
portal.
Right, and it would just pass through that to get to the permanent drive.
I don't know,
And then the permanent drive would be out where,
It'd be detachable.
Right, and it would be where anybody could come in,
Well,
plug it
is that it?
and have them index somehow. You think we need more around?
I don't know. It's the only thing, I don't remember what we had looked at earlier, and I know I've got that stuff.
My wife wanted me to bring her a
I think I took it out of the
One question I've got.
for the birds, but I told her.
Thank you for your report.
Are you familiar with this library?
Are you going to look at it?
Well, I don't know about it.